9. On paper, a retired school teacher named Margaret did everything right. She saved for 40 years, she invested conservatively, she had $500,000 in her nest egg. Then a financial advisor, a man in a nice suit with a sales pitch as smooth as butter, convinced her to roll her entire IRA into a guaranteed income annuity that would protect her from market losses. What he didn't tell her was that the annuity had a surrender charge, a 1.25% annual fee, and a 10-year lockup period. He didn't tell her that he was earning an $8,000 commission on the sale, and he certainly didn't tell her that if she needed that money for a medical emergency, she'd be crushed by penalties. Margaret signed the paperwork. 3 years later, when her health declined and she needed access to her funds, her financial freedom had been turned into a prison. Annuities, they are the most controversial financial product in America. Are they a safe retirement tool or a scam designed to fleece seniors? The answer is yes, and it all depends on which type you buy, who sells it to you, and whether you understand the fine print. If you stay until the end of this video, you'll learn exactly what annuities are, the 7 different types, and the brutal math on fees, surrender charges, and commissions. I'll show you the 2026 regulatory landscape, the recent court rulings that changed the rules of the game, and the single question that determines whether an annuity is a wise part of your retirement plan or a financial trap. By the time we're done, you'll be able to walk into any advisor's office and know with absolute certainty whether the product they're selling is right for you. My name is your name, and today we're separating the truth from the hype on the most powerful and most dangerous financial product you'll ever encounter. Let me start with the story that broke my heart. A woman named Susan, a retired nurse, came to me after losing her husband. She had $300,000 in a 401k that she needed to last her the rest of her life. A local broker recommended a fixed indexed annuity with a guaranteed 6% growth. She bought it. What she didn't understand was that the 6% growth applied to the income base, not her actual account value. The actual cash value, the money she could withdraw if she needed it, grew at a much lower rate and was subject to a 1.5% annual fee. When she needed $50 for home repairs, she discovered a surrender charge of 8% plus a market value adjustment, totaling nearly $10,000 in penalties. She was in tears. Her safe investment had become a trap. But here's the other side of the story. My own father, a retired engineer, bought a simple single premium immediate annuity, a SPIA, with $100,000 of his savings. He gets a check for $620 every single month, guaranteed for life, no matter how long he lives. He doesn't worry about the stock market. He doesn't stress about interest rates. That annuity is the bedrock of his retirement income, same product category. 2 completely different outcomes. So what's the difference? An annuity is not one product. It's an entire category of financial products, all of which are contracts between you and an insurance company. In simple terms, you give the insurance company a lump sum of money, and in exchange, they promise to pay you a stream of income either immediately or in the future. They are the only financial product in the world that can guarantee you an income for life, no matter how long you live. That's the allure. But that guarantee comes at a cost, often a very high cost. Let me walk you through the 5 major types of annuities you'll encounter in 2026. Type 1, the single premium immediate annuity, the simple one. This is the good guy of the annuity world. You give an insurance company a lump sum, say $100, zoo, and they start paying you monthly income immediately, usually within 30 days to 1 year. The amount is fixed for life or for a set period. In 2026, A 67-year-old man might get about $580 per month from a $100,000 SPIA, depending on interest rates. For a 70-year-old, that payout jumps to over $700 per month. There are no hidden fees. There's no complicated growth formula. You're simply trading your lump sum for a lifetime pension. This is the only annuity type that most financial experts, including the ones who hate annuities, generally agree can be a good idea for the right person. The downside? Once you hand over the money, it's gone. You can't get it back. There's no liquidity, no inheritance for your kids, unless you buy a period-certain rider. It's an irreversible trade. Type 2. The fixed annuity, the CD on steroids. A fixed annuity, often called a multi-year guaranteed annuity or MIJ, is the CD of the annuity world. You deposit a lump sum, typically a $10 ZUSN minimum, and the insurance company guarantees a fixed interest rate for a set period, usually 3 to 10 years. In 2026, top MIJ rates are remarkably high. As of May 2026, a 5-year MIJ from an A-rated carrier is paying about 5.9%, while the best 5-year CD pays just 4.40%. That's a 1.5% higher yield, $1,500 more per year on a $100,000 deposit. The trade-off is liquidity. A CD might forfeit 3 months of interest for early withdrawal. And MIJ will hit you with a surrender charge that starts as high as 8% in year 1 and declines over time. And the interest is tax-deferred until you withdraw, which can be a benefit if you're in a high tax bracket. At every term from 3 to 10 years, the top MIGA pays about 150 to 200 basis points more than the best comparable CD. If you are absolutely certain you won't need the money for the full term and you want higher yield than a CD, a fixed annuity can be a reasonable choice. But if there's any chance you'll need the money early, stay far away. Type 3. The fixed index annuity, the wolf in sheep's clothing. Asterisk, this is the most sold and most dangerous type of annuity. Fixed indexed annuities, also called equity indexed annuities, promise the best of both worlds. Upside potential based on a stock market index, like the S&P 500, but with a guaranteed floor, so you never lose principal. It sounds amazing. In practice, it's a confusing mess of caps, spreads, participation rates, and fees designed to limit your upside while guaranteeing that the insurance company profits. Here's how it works. Your money is not actually invested in the stock market. Instead, the insurance company tracks a market index, but they apply a cap that limits your gains. For example, your return will be tied to the S&P 500, but capped at 6%. If the S&P 500 goes up 20%, you get 6%. If it goes up 8%, you get 6%? Actually, no, you get the capped amount, but never the full index return. If the index goes down, you get a minimum guaranteed return, often 0% to 2%. But the insurance company also deducts fees for income riders and other benefits that you probably don't need. Many indexed annuities have rider fees of 1% to 1.5% annually, deducted from your account value whether you use the income feature or not. The marketing materials show you illustrated returns of 6-8% per year, but those illustrations are not guarantees. They are hypothetical projections based on the insurance company's assumptions about future index performance. The actual returns on indexed annuities have historically lagged simple index funds by a wide margin after accounting for caps, fees, and commissions. In 2025, total fixed indexed annuity sales reached $128.2 billion, a new record. But that doesn't make them good, it makes them well marketed. Type 4, the registered index-linked annuity, the new kid on the block. RILAs are a newer hybrid that have exploded in popularity. In 2025, RILA sales increased 20% to $79.6 billion, 10 times the sales recorded a decade ago. LIMRA projects RILA sales to exceed $85 billion in 2026. RILAs offer downside protection, typically 10%, 20%, or even 30%, in exchange for giving up some upside. For example, a 10% buffer means the insurance company absorbs the first 10% of losses in the index, but your upside is capped. RILs are less fee-heavy than variable annuities and more transparent than fixed-indexed annuities. But they are still complex, still have surrender charges, and still come with the risk of market volatility. The biggest growth in RILs is driven by independent broker-dealers who sell them for high commissions. Type 5, the variable annuity, the fee monster. Variable annuities are the most expensive and most complex. Instead of a fixed interest rate, you choose from a menu of sub-accounts, which are essentially expensive mutual funds. The insurance company then charges you a mortality and expense fee, typically 0.6% to 1.4% per year, on top of the sub-account expense ratios of 0.5% to 1.5%. A variable annuity with a 1.25% M&E fee and sub-accounts averaging 0.90% in expenses carries a base cost of 15% per year before any rider fees. Add an income rider for guaranteed lifetime withdrawals, and total annual fees can reach 3% or more. That's not an investment, that's a slow bleed. Variable annuity sales have actually grown recently, up 8% in the fourth quarter of 2025, driven by commission-hungry advisors. But the math is brutal. A $200 zero variable annuity with 3% total annual fees will have its account value cut by nearly half over 20 years compared to a low-cost index fund. You would have to be incredibly unlucky with the stock market or incredibly lucky with insurance guarantees to justify those fees. The fee and commission landscape the ugliest part. Asterisk. Let me read you a statement from a regulatory filing. Advisors earn 5–8% commissions on variable annuities and 6–10% on fixed indexed annuities. On a $200,000 annuity sale, that's up to $20 in upfront compensation paid to the selling broker. These commissions are built into the product's structure. You don't see them as a line item, but you pay them through lower returns, lower caps, higher surrender charges, and longer surrender periods. In 2026, a FINRA enforcement action exposed a broker who forged 115 annuity applications, earning over $500 in advanced commissions on annuities that were never even funded. That's not an isolated incident. Annuity complaints and lawsuits are rising. A FINRA panel recently ordered Truist to pay a client $2.7 million over unsuitable annuity sales. A couple in North Carolina is suing Emeritus over alleged fraudulent sale of unsuitable equity-indexed annuities. The common thread? Seniors who were sold complex products that didn't fit their needs, often through high-pressure seminars and free lunch events. But wait, doesn't the law protect me? In 2026, the regulatory landscape is a mess. The Biden-era fiduciary rule that would have required brokers to act in your best interest when recommending annuities was vacated by a Texas federal court in March 2026. The Department of Labor has since restored the pre-2016 five-part fiduciary test, but questions remain about how rollover advice will be treated. The NAI suitability in annuity transactions model regulation requires best interest standards and disclosure of compensation conflicts, but enforcement varies by state. The bottom line, you cannot rely on regulators to protect you. You must protect yourself. The one case where annuities actually make sense. Given all these negatives, is there any scenario where you should buy an annuity? Yes. Two scenarios, actually. Scenario one, you have longevity concerns. You come from a family where everyone lives into their 90s and you're worried about outliving your savings. A SPIA, Single premium immediate annuity can convert a portion of your nest egg into a guaranteed income stream that lasts as long as you do. A 2026 study by TAA found that a 67-year-old retiree with $1 million who annuitizes 1/3 of their savings and uses the 4% rule on the rest can generate $51,867 in first-year income, 30% more than the $40,000 from the 4% rule alone. That's because annuity payout rates at current interest rates are higher than the 4% rule's sustainable withdrawal rate. This is called longevity insurance. You're buying peace of mind. Scenario 2. You have a lump sum that you want to turn into predictable income for a specific period, say, to bridge the gap between retirement at 60 and Social Security at 70. A fixed annuity with a 5 or 7 year term can lock in a known payout, allowing you to spend down that money deliberately without worrying about market volatility. The advice from leading experts is to limit annuities to no more than 25–40% of your retirement savings. Use them as a base of guaranteed income, not as your entire plan. The decision framework: how to know if an annuity is right for you. Here's your checklist. First, never buy an annuity inside a tax-advantaged account like an IRA. The tax deferral is wasted, and you add complexity for no benefit. Second, only buy from companies with the highest financial strength ratings, AM Best A+ or higher, Comdex score of 90 or above. Allianz, New York Life, Mass Mutual, and other mutual insurance companies are good starting points. Third, only buy when you are at least 60 years old. The benefits of annuitization are tiny at younger ages. Fourth, never ever buy an annuity that you don't understand completely. If you can't explain it to a child, don't buy it. Fifth, avoid variable annuities and most fixed indexed annuities. The fees are too high, the complexity is too great, and the commissions are a conflict of interest. Sixth, consider a fee-only fiduciary advisor who can recommend a low-cost SPIA or MYGA without earning a commission. They will charge you by the hour or as a percentage of assets. That's money well spent. Seventh, run the numbers. Compare the annuity's payout to what you could generate from a conservative portfolio of bonds and CDs. If the annuity offers at least 20% more income and you value the guarantee, it might be worth it. If not, pass. The bottom line: annuities are not a scam, but the way they are sold, through high commissions, complex products, and fear-based marketing, often turns them into traps. The only annuities that make sense for most people are the simple ones: single premium immediate annuities for lifetime income, and multi-year guaranteed annuities as CD alternatives for money you won't need for 5+ years. Everything else is noise. Let me give you one final story to put this all together. A wise investor named Robert took 20% of his retirement savings, $100,000, and bought a simple 7-year MYGA paying 6.30%. He knows exactly how much money he'll have at the end, $153.367, because the rate is locked. He took 10% of his savings and bought a SPIA that gives him a small guaranteed income floor for life. The remaining 70% stayed in low-cost index funds, which he will use for growth and unexpected expenses. Robert is not a financial genius. He just knows the difference between a tool and a trap. Annuities can be a tool, but only if you buy the right one from the right company at the right time for the right reasons. Here's your action plan for today. First, if you already own an annuity, review your contract. Find the surrender schedule. Calculate how much you'd lose if you surrendered today. If you're past the surrender period, consider whether a 1035 exchange to a lower-cost product is beneficial. Second, if you are considering an annuity, download the SEC's Variable Annuities, What You Should Know Guide, and the NAC's Annuity Buyer's Guide. Both are free. Third, Check your insurance company's financial strength on AM Best or Vice ratings. If the Comdex score is below 80, do not buy Fourth. Run a comparison between a SPIA payout and the 4% rule on a balanced portfolio. Use immediateannuities.com to get real-time quotes. Then decide Fifth before signing any contract. Hire a fee-only fiduciary to review it. The $500 you spend could save you $50,000 in hidden fees. Sixth, comment below. I checked my annuity. Tell me one thing you learned. I'll reply to the first 100 comments. If this video gave you the confidence to navigate the annuity minefield, hit the like button. It helps others who are being pressured into bad products. Subscribe and turn on notifications. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the 50-30-20 budget rule the right way. Most people get the percentages wrong. The insurance industry wants you to be afraid of market risk, so you buy their products. But the real risk is not the stock market. The real risk is buying a complex financial product you don't understand from a salesperson who earns a commission when you sign. Annuities can be a powerful retirement tool, but only for the informed. Now you're informed. I'll see you in the next video.